Hi guys, Collar here, bringing you Game 2 of Airforce Ace versus MBC Hero, played in the Pro League on April 23rd. And the reason why I'm bringing you Game 2 to start with is because Diggity did Game 1 of the series, and no one else has done any other games in the series, and I felt that I definitely needed to do it, and you will see why. But in any case, Diggity did a great job in Game 1, which was Boxer versus Light, a TVT match, and spoiler here, but Boxer won the first game, so Airforce Ace is up 1-0 against the very formidable MBC Hero team. And in Game 2, we have Daezang, a Protoss player on Airforce Ace who's been relied on quite frequently, against none other than C Shield, the Terran player on MBC Hero, and he's actually had the best record of any 1v1 player last year in the Pro League. So he's absolutely almost unstoppable in Pro League, even though he sometimes chokes a bit in individual league, but we'll see what Daezang can do against such a monster. And we have C here spawning in yellow at the 7 o'clock position. C's just, as for his playing style, he's just incredibly solid. I have to say, he's just doesn't necessarily play the most early aggressive game or the most tricky game, but he's just comprehensively a solid player. Just able to anticipate against the other player very well, able to just counterattack when he needs to, and he enjoys playing a longer game, I think. His record against Protoss is 61% overall. Daezang's record against Terran is 51%, but of course Daezang's played a lot fewer games than C has. This map is Andromeda, a very macro-heavy map. You have a natural expansion without gas inside your base, and one with gas at a ramp below your main base. And we see here both players building their supply depot and pylon within their starting base, so neither going for a really early rush here. And I think that is clearly a good idea. I've never seen C actually do a rush before. He just plays so solidly. He likes to play mid-game and late-game. Although I've seen him defeat plenty of rushes. Daezang building a gateway here in his base, and I think it is a good idea not to rush in this map. It is quite difficult to pull off a rush successfully, I feel. Although, of course, you would have the element of surprise. I won't give it away, but there was a game in the GSI which Savior participated in, I'll give you that away, where there was a rush Andromeda. I won't tell you the results, but it was quite an exciting proxy rush. This being a really large map, though, you'd have to spot your opponent quite early on, and just the risk is probably not worth it. It looks like here C is going for a very standard factory first build, it seems, getting his barracks and his refinery at the same time, probably on the 12th SCV. That's really the common start here, so you can build your factory the moment your barracks is finished if you do it correctly, and you don't need to build any Marines. We'll see what Daezang does to go against it, if he decides to go for a cybernetics core first, or if he decides to go for an expansion at this point. I haven't seen Daezang play in a couple of games I've casted with him. I haven't seen him play really aggressive in his early expansion. He's been playing sort of an old school, or just a standard conventional game where you start off with one base. And it looks like actually he's doing a great job harassing the SCV, building the barracks, almost killing it. It's down to about 10 hit points here. And he manages to kill it. That'll give him a little bit of a boost early game here. But it looks like C is repairing it. Now he's getting his factory down. One Marine being produced right now also. And looks like Daezang did decide to go for a cybernetics core first. So yeah, when you get a chance, please check out sc2gg.com. I'm sure many of you have come from that site. But I have to say, that site is producing an absolute renaissance, a revolution in the world of pro gaming StarCraft, and actually in esports in general. Somehow, Radival and the people there, have managed to assemble StarCraft commentaries for pretty much every single Pro League and OSL and Star League game coming up this season in Korean StarCraft, and that's huge. Like, absolutely, we're having something like 40 commentaries every day, or parts of commentaries every day, like 10 commentaries every day. We're covering every single game. So whatever team you'd like to see in the Pro League, or whatever player you want to see in the OSL, you can watch it with an English commentator. It's just absolutely incredible, and doing all this without a sponsor of any sort, just completely grassroots, is just really amazing. So I highly recommend you check out www.sc2gg.com. Like I said, I'm sure many of you have come from there. So, but yeah, it's an absolutely amazing site. I love the site. I have to say, I'm quite impressed, being a new commentator, at how fast things are changing. Like 10 years after StarCraft's released, how fast things have changed. In any case, I won't rant too long about it. Looks like we had a machine shop and built on the factory inside C's base. So it looks like he's going to be getting a tank out, and I expect him to be going for a fast expand immediately afterwards. It looks like Daezang sticking with one gateway here, going to get range upgrade for his Cybernetics core, and I expect also an expansion nexus for him. That seems to be the build here. And actually, no, he's going for a robotics facility. Of course, obviously another possibility here. He could be deciding to go for Reavers first. That would be quite interesting. I did see him do that really well against a Terran player. I think it was Firebat Hero, although he didn't win that game a few weeks ago in the Proleague. He did pull off a very good Reaver Harass, and I do like his Reaver Harass overall. I've seen a lot of games of him actually recently. I think 3 or 4 full games of him playing because I've just been covering so many Air Force Ace games recently. It looks like indeed C is going to be setting up his command center after getting his first tank out, and he might be going for a little advance here. It looks like he's upgraded Vulture Mines for his Vultures. And just so far, a completely standard opening build from C here, going for the machine shop, upgrading mines first instead of siege, getting that one tank, a couple of marines, and now he's able to safely put up a expansion here and get his macro up. And I do feel like that's what I like about C's game. It's just incredibly safe in his play, and it just I mean, not necessarily the most exciting StarCraft, but certainly very effective StarCraft, if I may put it that way. And it looks like an observatory going for Daezang. So Daezang going for sort of very standard build so far. And it'll be interesting to see how this evolves. If Daezang decides to go for another expansion or for an early attack, what he decides to do. So far, neither pressure has done anything offensive yet, coming into the 7th minute here of the game. 6th minute of the game, actually. So right now I'm trying to decide what new commentaries I'd like to do next. It just seems like there's so many new games nowadays, so for those of you who've been loving my classic commentaries, I have been neglecting you a bit for the last few weeks, because I am scheduled to do a lot of new games, but I think I will be doing at least one long old game, or perhaps a short part of a series of an older game in the next few days, and I'm considering doing, like I've said, promised so long, Boxer versus I Love WoW, although the quality for those videos, it just isn't very high, and I'm not sure. I mean, they're very long turn versus turn games, so let me know how you guys feel about long turn versus turn games. I do have another one of Boxer, a Pimpus play video of Boxer just doing amazing things to another turn player, but it's also very long. So let me know what matchups you like to see the most. Actually, just tell me like TVZ, TVZ, TVP. I mean, PVT, all sorts of. Just tell me whatever lineups you like to see. There's another choice, a big Zerg versus Zerg game that lasted for an hour between 2 foreign players, 2 American, I think, or whatever players, non-Koreans, and that is definitely a possibility also. Yeah, so looks like C here getting 3 tanks in his front here, playing very defensively so far, and both players playing just sort of a waiting game here, perhaps trying to get some kind of advantage. It looks like Daezang's got his second expansion, the mineral only, up inside his natural, and he's going to get his Reaver Harass down. This will probably be the first offensive move of this game. Looks like a pylon being built also at the 3 o'clock position, so if his Reaver Harass goes well, I expect him to go for another expansion. Excuse me. I'm not sure how C spotted it actually, but he certainly has prepared himself a little bit for this for a Reaver drop. He's got turrets around his base, and once again, just very safe play from C. But there are a couple of holes in this turret line so far. It looks like the shuttle has been spotted though, and there is just very good missile termination. You see, if you see what I mean, C just plays a very impeccable game against all races. Really, just plays very safely until he's ready to move out. He likes to dictate the terms of his advance, and he does like to wait until the mid game or late game when he's fully ready. Looks like he's hasn't gotten his natural expansion yet, the mineral only natural expansion. So I do assume he's going to get pretty soon, especially if this harass fails. He might actually even push out if the harass fails. Looks like a pylon wall being built for Daezang at the 3 o'clock position, just to prevent Vulture Harass from getting there. And it looks like Daezang's still considering going for a drop here with his shuttle, but C has just prepared himself quite well here with a lot of missile turrets, and I don't think the shuttle will be able to sneak in. Looks like C also won't be able to sneak into the natural expansion there at the 3 o'clock. Excuse me. And looks like an observer spotting the mines for C there. I have to say though, Daezang has been impressive of late. He's played just quite well. He's been defeated by good players like Now Raw, but you know, he's been doing quite well for the Ace team. like I said before, Ace really has a problem of lack of players. It seems like every single matchup, they're just putting a Boxer, Daezang, and Oversky, and really, they have a couple of other players, which once were really quite famous, like Hot Forever. I don't know if any of you have heard him, but he used to be a very, very strong player in like 2001. I think he was, a silver medalist several times in the OSL. Looks like a push coming out from C here, and I'm not sure if Daezang's going to have enough here, because C has 8 tanks here. Daezang can't stand there and absorb these hits. I don't know what he's doing with these Dragoons. I guess he's trying to go for an attack here. Looks like the Reaver was dropped behind, though. Great Reaver drop by Daezang. They're waiting to use the Reaver for this a push here, and this Reaver is making all the difference here. Reaver does die, but it takes out almost all the tanks with it. Incredible Reaver micro there by Daezang. I didn't think he was able to hold. I thought he was foolish for trying to fight there, but I didn't notice the shuttle was already in the way there, getting behind the